talking about legitimate board meeting fiduciary responsibility, 4 meetings a year is the minimum. The NAPF meets six times per year. You meet every other month. However often you meet, as long as the work's getting done and you don't feel like long stretches of time and things are falling off the plate because you're not meeting often enough. If you're not having those problems, then there's no need to even really look at that. But this is kind of a rule of thumb, is a minimum of 4 meetings. And then all of the directors are requested or expected to attend. Having a policy for not being able to make a meeting is good to have. Read to lead. So again, I can't say this enough. It's, cracking the board packet there on the dais on the day of the meeting is probably not the best policy. You're not going to be up to speed, if you will. And then the purpose of the meeting is to conduct board business, not to perform committee level stuff. Remember how I said the board should try to stay out of committee work? Committee work shouldn't be done at a board meeting. In the respect of everybody's time, the board agenda is what happens at the board meeting, not committee work. And then in most cases, maybe you have one or maybe you don't, the December meeting is deemed the annual meeting. So I was on a library group with friends, and they had a meeting before their big party in December. And that meeting was more to talk about what we did this year. So that's really what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about some sort of, required by law meeting. It's just, this is our last meeting of the year. This is what we did this year. That's the type of thing that they're talking about. You can't have a board meeting without a what? An agenda. Because the agenda is what tracks and directs the time that you folks are spending together of your own free time. It's generally prepared by the president with input from all parties, all the board members, any committee members, and staff. It is good practice that if you'd like to have an item put on the agenda, to do that in a timely manner and not just bringing that out last minute. Here, my parliamentarian said it should be a month. I mean, you can play around with that number a little bit. Whatever's more comfortable for you, whatever amount of time doesn't feel like it's rushed, is really the policy you want to have there. Quorum, meaning that you are actually actively engaged in a meeting, is always 50% plus 1. So you have to have that 51% of your board there in order to actually be conducting business. Now, let's say that it's the December meeting and not everybody can show up and you don't have quorum. You have to all go home? No, you just can't vote on anything. You definitely can have a meeting, and those meetings, it would say that we did not have a quorum, so therefore we did not vote on any items that were on the agenda. And then you just carry those over to the next board meeting when you do. And I think this is still a good policy. 72 hours is fine for getting the agenda emailed out. And with the agenda should be the meeting minutes from the last meeting, so that people aren't reading them right before they go to vote on them to approve them. So people can read those in advance.